To be honest, the fact that we can be so late into season 3 of Slime and they just casually just show me already one of my new favorite characters, and most importantly, one of the most busted abilities I think we've seen in Slime. Now here's the thing, I'm not saying Rimuru, if like he had to fight Masayuki, wouldn't win or something, but this is legitimately one of the coolest abilities, and immediately it reminded me of that, I think her name was Domino from Deadpool 2. Just the concept of luck as an ability, because at the end of the day, that's what the Chosen One ability feels like to me. It's just like, things just work out. This man could stumble into a room with 1,000 AK-47s pointed at him, and they could all pull the trigger at the same time, and I'm convinced he would still come out on top. Because that's just how that ability seemingly works. And it's such a cool concept, because you essentially have a speed run. Like, you kind of have like Kirito over here, who's a super nice guy. You immediately, he just casually spawned into a world. He had no idea why, he was just here. And the fact that you immediately like him, and just the fact that he's so self-aware that he's like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just existing and things are happening. And he honestly is sweet, man. And you can tell this is the type of character that if Rimuru and him have a proper conversation, they would be best friends, 100%. But it's the fact that it's this self-aware, it's like he's this protagonist in the generic, like, that time I got reincarnated as a slime isn't the most obnoxious title, it's decently long. But there's a lot of shows that would have that plus, and then blah 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 blah. It would be like a whole paragraph for a title. He feels like the type of MC who would be in a show like that, and he'd be self-aware that it's stupid. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting off of him. And the fact that he's just, you know, his mission is basically, he's trying to drop in a bunch of elves into the forest that Rimuru obviously controls, and Rimuru being a demon lord now, obviously it's a little more, you gotta be a little more careful about all this. And just the fact that we're building into this scene where basically Masayuki's people think that he's about to go slay a demon lord. Rimuru's people wants to go kill him because they think he wants to go slay a demon lord. And both of them are like, we're just trying to talk, bro. Like, we're not really trying to do anything too crazy. But the fact that you can just like so casually show me one of the coolest and most powerful things I think I've seen in this show, because legitimately, even though I don't think Masayuki can one-shot everyone in this world, it does have me saying, man, I feel like we could probably throw anything at this guy, and Lady Luck would be on his side to at the very least keep him alive, and that's fantastic. I do have full live reactions though over on Patreon if you want to see my full in-depth thought to any of these slime episodes. It's going to be over there exclusively. So I've been obviously having a great time with Core 2. Absolutely love it. I've made the comparison. It's very reminiscent to my feelings of Tsukimichi Season 2. First core of Tsukimichi Season 2, I liked it, but it wasn't Season 1, and for a lot of Tsukimichi fans, they just didn't vibe with it. Second core came around, and it just skyrocketed. Very similar thing happening with Season 3. Did not hate Season 3 Core 1. A lot of people thought it was trash. Is what it is. Core 2, I thought Core 1 was good. So much better. And if it keeps it up, I legitimately think Season 3 will have reached a very high point to some of the best stuff that we've seen. Like, this is my preferred type of slime content. As crazy as Season 2 can be when everyone seemingly is getting wiped out and Rimuru's killing tens of thousands of people, that stuff's all well and good. But this is my bread and butter. There's a reason why I love Slime Diaries so much, and I think this has hit a perfect note of the whole Coliseum event that they're building up. It lets it have that familiar old school slime feel of like civilization building, super fun dynamics with all the characters, but you can still have the political pressure and the political manipulation in the background, which is basically what we're getting with a lot of different characters coming to, and us having to solve crisis, but just in a much more casual way. I'm not saying I don't want or expect that there will be more dramatic stuff in the future, there absolutely will be, but for me, this is my preferred type of slime content, 100%. And they're just doing such a good job with it. It's beautifully produced, Rimuru and the characters are just way more expressive. Like I said, I think it was like the first or second episode, I think it was around the second episode of Core 2. I mentioned how it felt like it was a different studio. Like it was almost like we switched studios, even though we didn't, right? It just had such more charisma about things. And it's not simply because the arcs are different, like visually it literally looks like a different team is doing it, and it just makes for a much more pleasant experience. But Masayuki as a character is really funny because go back to what you thought of Slime the entirety of Season 1. At no point did you probably think, oh, this is going to be a show that by second or third season, the concept of isekai is going to be just as common as seeing a dog cross the road in this show, because I certainly didn't expect that. But we're at the point now where this is just a world where it's like, I'm not saying every other character we see is going to be an isekai guy or girl, but at the end of the day, the fact that 1 out of 100 might be is kind of insane, because I never thought it would be that show. This boy was like, he didn't even get truck-cooned, he got warped. And the fact that just a simple heroic action, nothing crazy, but the fact that he shielded her rather than trying to defend himself, unlocked his Chosen One skill, which just immediately just made life his bitch. And I love the vibe of this guy. Like, his VA's perfect for it. Perfect role for this, and it's like, he's the type of MC who would be a parody MC in a lot of these types of shows, where he's like, I'm literally doing nothing. Like, I'm just walking, I'm doing my thing, and everyone's acting like, he's like, I'm not going to slay no demon lord, I'm going to talk with it. It's like, okay. The fact that that moment with the slave deal, this dude casually stumbles into this slave deal when he's trying to go to the bathroom. This dude ends up getting killed, and the fact that he's just standing there, like, in most circumstances, he would be screwed, because it looks like he frames it as the hero's the one who did this. The Lightspeed hero did this. And he didn't even have to lift a finger, man. His presence, because of the Chosen One skill, allowed him to just secure that W. And the fact that the dude who got actually killed too just gets to get healed. Like, this is the type of guy who could literally have an army shooting him with projectiles, rocket launchers, nuclear bombs, and somehow he would walk through that like it's nothing. And he'd be like, I don't even know what I did. I love him. I absolutely do. I think this is already one of the most entertaining characters, which is saying something, because we've had so much time with so many more characters, but it hits an itch. Like, this, like, as fast-paced as everything was, and how it almost crammed, like, probably 3 seasons worth of content for him in a span of 10-15 minutes, it didn't really feel jarring. I just was having a fun time, and I was like, you know what, I want to see more of these characters. And I'm really appreciative of the fact that Rimuru's like, I want to have a conversation. If they do end up dueling, that's going to be pretty fun, but I love it. I think Slime is definitely back on track. Core 1, like I said, didn't hate it, but it's nothing compared to what Core 2 is doing. And it's not because, like, oh, now we're in this fun action. It's just the characters are fun again. The characters are having fun while still remaining to have the political implications of Rimuru now being a demon lord. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode. What do you think of the Chosen One skill? Because this thing's like, it's literally Lady Luck as an ability to me, and I think that's fantastic. But let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got TM, Flametons, Patron user 123, Abraham Magici, Chris, and we also have Blackie9873. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.